I appreciate the opportunity to provide the school board and our community an overview of our anticipated last quarter of the school year, as well as the next steps that we are taking as a district to prepare for summer opportunities for our students, as well as preparing for the 2021 school year. As we will likely not soon forget, on the Friday before spring break, we received the announcement that schools would be closing for essentially the next 2 weeks, as some districts were going into spring break like we were, and then they'd be closed the subsequent week, ultimately in preparation to launch the unprecedented first-time distance learning statewide for the state of Florida. During this time, during this 2 weeks, we ultimately prepared to stand up the instructional continuity plan for students pre-K through 12th grade, as well as our adult education students. We transitioned 5,000 teachers from the classroom to distance learning in under 2 weeks. As Leading and Learning, our division of instruction, pulled teams together to prepare lesson plans and also to provide guidance and assistance for teachers as they anticipated this new way of work. We moved approximately 1,000 employees to a work remote environment. We also rallied 600 food and nutrition service workers to begin the preparation and delivery of meals for our students, even during closure. We developed an off-site professional development plan and program, and ultimately reduced our on-site essential staff to approximately 30% of our normal capacity, all doing so without disruption to service to our students, and I'm very pleased to say without having to place any employees on furlough or layoff. In preparation for distance learning, we distributed over 15,000 computers and devices to students and teachers across our district, securing over $100,000 from business partners across our community to support the acquisition of hotspots so that students in remote areas or without internet access would be able to have continuity of instruction. At the same time, we established 13 original sites, expanding to 27, that provided meal service to our students and families as they were able to come through our different sites, ultimately serving over 1.7 million meals during our period of closure and over 42,000 children per week. In addition, bus drivers delivered 310 meals a day to students in transition across our district at remote locations. And we will continue our meal distribution. As of June 1st, in addition, preparing meal service, our Leading and Learning instruction also prepared printed lessons might struggle in a remote learning environment, distributed over 1,200 students. But in addition to preparations for learning, we also tackled our facilities and our classrooms and our school buildings, cleaning and sanitizing every building during the closure. We continued work on over 17 major capital projects during COVID-19, which included the ongoing construction of Vieira Elementary School and our new construction of the Advanced Manufacturing Building at Clear Lake Learning Center, all while maintaining work on our 37 sales surtax projects across the district, including 7 food service projects. It may have seemed like the world stopped for a moment, but I assure you that Brevard Public Schools and our employees were still very, very busy. As we take a look at the summer landscape and the calendar going into the next several weeks, You'll see that we are, as mentioned, already in the closing of the 2019-20 school year, and we are preparing for the launch of our summer learning opportunity for students in pre-K through 12th grade, as well as our adult education learning center as well. You'll see at the bottom of the calendar that I'll reference this more later in the presentation, that we have a task force that is specifically focused on reopening the school year in August, working already and have for a couple weeks now in preparation for likely a different but new school year in a few weeks. And there will likely be other milestones over the summer as we receive additional direction from the state or the governor's office, as well as budget updates and so on that will be added to this calendar as we go along. And we'll certainly be keeping the board, of course, and our community apprised as new milestones come along. The reality is that COVID-19 may have thought it was going to alter our focus and our priority on academic and operational pursuits, activities, and our success over the last 2 months. But I would propose that it hasn't even come close. We have remained focused and prioritizing our strategic plan and mission. And as you look at the pillars of our strategic plan, our goals of academic excellence, exceptional workforce, community connection, and operational sustainability, each of those pillars became critical in the management, oversight, and sustainability of our distance learning program. And I'm very proud of the efforts of our team to have maintained that focus. These will continue to be our guiding principles in all that we do, including our plan to reopen in August. So back to our task force. As I shared in a recent publication, our task force is formed. It is working specifically on reopening in August, and it is focused on 4 primary areas of concern: educational, health and safety, operations, and social emotional concern. A 14-member cross-functional task force that is specifically focused on solutions is meeting essentially weekly to tackle these 4 areas and prepare our district, our students, our employees, and our community for the return of to school in August of 2020. Representatives from all relevant and critical function areas include leading and learning, student services, educational technology, facilities, athletics and activities, transportation, district security, and of course, 2 additional representatives from the Florida Department of Health. The task force is committed to engaging teachers and staff to gain employee perspectives by leveraging our relationship and ongoing involvement with our school advisory committees across our district, across our schools, as well as cross-district representation and parent perspective. By providing a portal to our community where they can provide input and feedback that'll be accessible through our website and be available in the coming days. In addition, I have already reached out to my 300+ community ambassador members that I have met with periodically throughout the year, and we'll be providing them updates as well as opportunity to provide input and feedback as we take every consideration in mind in preparation for the new school year. What does the academic future look like for our students? Well, most immediately, our summer distance learning opportunities are up and ready to go. Our pre-K through 5th grade have extended learning opportunities through distance learning. Our Leading and Learning Elementary Instructional Continuity Plan website to support our students, and school leaders are reaching out to parents and students individually for those that need to specifically focus on particular areas for the coming school year. In addition, our Brevard Virtual School Platform program is ready to launch and support our students in 6th through 12th grade. And I want to let our community know that Brevard Virtual School is run, hosted, and staffed by our teachers, our staff right here in Brevard Public Schools. And ultimately, our tax dollars in Brevard for our public schools stay in Brevard when our parents choose Brevard Virtual School. In consideration of operational planning, obviously maintaining a safe work environment for all of our employees is our ongoing priority. We are following CDC and other federal, state, and local authorities' guidelines and directives very closely to ensure that we maintain a safe work environment. We've already begun to procure safety items based on what we believe our needs will be in the coming year, so we don't have issues or get behind in the supply chain challenges that could exist across the state and country. Some of these items include sanitizer for our classrooms, masks to have on hand for use in sensitive areas, the purchase of touchless thermometers, as well as preparations for cleaning between class periods and other safety protocols that will be determined by our task force in the coming week. Certainly, budget concerns are high on our mind as we are all anticipating challenging times with the economic impact of COVID-19. We continue to evaluate budget line items, line by line, to capture savings and prepare for ultimately the new and unfunded costs related to additional safety measures for the fall. So some of the expected savings that come from this school year from being closed for 9 weeks include fuel savings, utilities, and of course substitute teachers. But at the same time, we have anticipated expenses that we have not had in the past, supplies such as the hand sanitizer, cleaning agents, masks, etc., as well as we are looking at what furniture needs might we be required to put in place to accommodate distancing, as well as portables, buses, and new devices. And as the board knows, some of the challenges that we face ahead with the financial unknowns include anticipation of a state budget. Just a reminder to our community that the governor has not signed the budget that came out of the legislature this year, so we are still awaiting a final decision from the governor for our 2021 budget, as well as what impact might there be with enrollment as we move forward. Certainly, I will be keeping the board and the community apprised as we work through some of the anticipated challenges ahead related to funding. Before I move on to talk about the CARES Act, I want to give the board and the community an update on what we know about the CARES Act for federal funding. But back to the COVID-related expenses and saving, we have actually established a COVID-related expense line item so we can quickly track and monitor all of the expenses related to COVID, particularly as we anticipate some direction on the CARES Act. We've all heard that the federal CARES Act relief is coming to states. It's actually been announced that the guidelines have been provided to the state. We are awaiting direction from the state. It's our understanding that it was provided to states at the end of April. So we are anxiously anticipating further direction on how we as a school district may apply for those funds. For Brevard, we are anticipating approximately $12 to $15 million. It is based on Title I status and Title I funding. So based on that understanding, however, the allocation will include consideration of both charter and private schools. So that won't be just for Brevard Public Schools, but it will be the allocation for all schools in Brevard County. And we will be forming the team to respond to what the requirements are for the CARES Act as we look to utilize those funds to support our programming. So you may ask, what are some of the anticipated uses of the CARES Act funding? Again, we have not received definitive guidance or direction, but we anticipate they can be used for academic support needs, unanticipated costs, as well as supporting workforce needs for our students. As I begin to close, just want to go through our next step. As we close out our school year and we focus our transition on our priorities, we, again, maintaining a safe work environment for our employees that will remain adaptable to further direction and guidelines. Summer distance learning opportunities for our students, maintaining our extended meal service for our students and our families and community, continued planning for the reopening in August 2020, as well as preparing for budget impact when we hear more from the state. I want our community and the board to know that we are absolutely committed to keeping our families and community informed on an ongoing basis moving forward. I will continue to use my time in board meetings to address these issues and will provide updates along the way, as well as I will be launching a bi-weekly update, which you will receive and the community will receive via email. These will be sent at the end of each week beginning June 5th. In closing, I could not be more proud to be a 25-plus year member of this community, but also a 25-plus year member of this educational that has tackled adversity, tackled challenge, and tackled serving our kids with an enormous commitment of dedication, thoroughness, attention to detail, to seek out every T that needs to be crossed, every I that needs to be dotted, and continue to serve our kids in an exemplary way. As I said in my op-ed article, the road ahead is going to continue to have some challenges and some bumps inevitably, as life will certainly present, and maintaining our sensitivity toward one another will be essential as we make positive progress and prepare for the start of a new yet different school year. I want our community to know that we're committed to serving you, serving our kids. We are planning, and we will be prepared. Thank you.